Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Alert. Today, we're diving deep into the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnam Dong. What's really happening as we look toward 2026? Believers are convinced a massive revaluation is just around the corner, promising life-changing profits. But what's the real story? Are these hopes backed by solid economic shifts, or is it just a whirlwind of speculation? Let's break it down, clear and simple. A key member of OPEC, oil exports are the lifeblood of its economy, funding the majority of the government's budget. Over the past year, Iraq has been working hard to stabilize its banking system and, importantly, reduce its reliance on the US dollar for everyday transactions. Plus, they're working more closely with international groups, like the IMF. But here's the key takeaway. Despite all these positive steps, there has been no official announcement of a major currency revaluation. So let's talk about that revaluation reality. Online, you'll see countless predictions of a dramatic overnight RV. Some people are talking about the dinar jumping to $1 or even higher. A currency's value isn't magic. We're talking about things like GDP strength, political stability, the balance of trade, inflation control, and how much money the country has in foreign reserves. While Iraq has made progress, it's still facing some serious challenges. Political tensions, regional instability. Most economists agree that if the dinar does get stronger, it will be a slow, gradual climb, not an explosive overnight jump. A big part of the recent conversation is Iraq's push for de-dollarization. The government wants people and businesses to use the Iraqi dinar for local trade and is putting restrictions on dollar cash transactions. They're trying to strengthen their own local banking channels. They're designed to stabilize the exchange rate and stop currency smuggling. And while this definitely strengthens the dinar inside Iraq, it does not automatically mean a huge international revaluation is on its way. It's a step toward sovereignty, not a trigger for a global price surge. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about Vietnam. It has transformed into a global manufacturing powerhouse, drawn by competitive labor costs and rapidly improving infrastructure. Vietnam is seeing strong export growth, a flood of foreign direct investment, an expanding tech sector, and a rising middle class. The State Bank of Vietnam keeps a tight grip on the Vietnamese dong, managing it through a controlled exchange rate system. The key difference here is that Vietnam's economy is much more diversified and focused on exports compared to Iraq's oil-centric model. Here's the thing. Vietnam intentionally keeps the dong at a relatively low value. Why? Long-standing strategy, a massive overnight revaluation is highly unlikely. What's more realistic is a very gradual appreciation over many years. The government prioritizes stability and steady growth over any sudden jumps in currency value. Vietnam is playing the long game, focusing on building a robust economy rather than engineering a currency shock. There are a few reasons. First, the low purchase price is incredibly tempting. This creates a powerful psychological appeal. It feels like you're holding a lottery ticket that could become a future jackpot. Then you have the echo chambers of social media and YouTube, where unverified claims and insider tips get amplified and spread like wildfire. Often, people misinterpret legitimate economic reforms, like Iraq's banking modernization. Governments have immense control over exchange rates and monetary policy. Sudden, extreme increases are incredibly rare in modern global finance. So what would actually need to happen for a major RV? For either currency to make a significant leap, we would need to see some fundamental, long-term shifts. For Iraq, this would mean achieving long-term political stability, truly diversifying their economy away from oil, fostering a strong and vibrant private sector, attracting significant foreign investment, and maintaining stable security across the country, along with major structural changes in their economy. None of these things happen overnight. If you already hold Iraqi dinar or Vietnam dong, it's important to have a smart perspective. Never invest money you can't afford to lose completely. Be extremely cautious of anyone claiming to have insider information. Your best source of truth will always be official announcements from the central banks themselves. And remember, diversification is key. Placing all your hopes and money into one speculative currency is a risky strategy. Fluctuations in oil prices are absolutely critical for Iraq. The interest rate policies of the US Federal Reserve can affect currencies worldwide. And for Vietnam, the direction of China's economy is a major factor. Let's wrap this up with some final thoughts on hype versus fundamentals. Both Iraq and Vietnam are developing economies with real, tangible growth potential. Iraq is focused on rebuilding and stabilizing its foundations. Vietnam is focused on expanding and modernizing its entire economic structure. These are genuinely positive developments. However, it's crucial to have realistic expectations. A slow, gradual strengthening over the course of years is far more probable than a dramatic overnight windfall. The speculation, especially online, isn't going away anytime soon. But at the end of the day, it's the official policy decisions and the underlying economic fundamentals that will determine a currency's true value. If you're in this space, stay informed, stay realistic, and most of all, stay patient. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next update. See you next time.